So behind me here is a giant 8-foot by 8-foot, just under 3-foot deep basin that we're going to plant a ridiculous amount of Vallisneria in, using a tall, deep basin for more water volume. And Val likes to grow tall and skinny. It actually doesn't like a whole ridiculous amount of light. It likes to grow taller and kind of flow. So we're going to create the ultimate Vallisneria basin right up in here. Kids, don't try this at home. This is how I'm going to use soil as a substrate to grow a ridiculous amount of Vallisneria. I'm going to break a lot of rules that I typically follow in an aquarium because I have a larger scale operation here and I know what I'm doing. The plants absorb 400 to 400 times more nutrients at the roots than they do with their stems and leaves. Typically you would take this and lay it out, spray it out. I've done that with part of this, got it wet, rinse dry, rinse dry, rinse dry in your own backyard until it really doesn't have a smell and it's been mineralized or whatever. We're not going to do that with everything here. About 7/8 of it's been done like that. The rest of it we're just going to roll. And I've been waiting to do this, dying to do this, very excited to do this because once it gets going, and it's going to take 45 days for this to be sexy. But the long game on this is to never be out of Vallisneria, which we are out of often. So I'm going to grow a ridiculous amount of it in here, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of maintenance, and I'm growing it in the sun, and going to have to battle excess nutrients on a large scale. You know, you got to do a water change on this. This is like, I don't know, 800 gallons, something like that. So got to, you know, have it built properly. So now we grab paver sand. Don't want to go any larger grade gravel than this. This has been proven time and time again, year after year, tank after tank, to be the good shit, man. So we use this and we cover, and you want to have a lot of this around. I've debated getting this brought in and like have just a dump load of sand, but then I still got to like shovel it and get it in a bucket and all that. The bags work. You go buy the bags, you roll. So I'm using this, and you don't want to cap it too much in your aquariums generally. However, I'm going to go, as this is going to be a produce a lot of val section, I'm going to go a little bit thicker because I'm going to be pulling it out. So I'm going to be ripping stuff out of here. And when I do that, I'm going to pull out the soil under it. So I want to have extra sand. So typically you want to use about 1 inch of sand on top. And what I like to do is get a base covering on it and then go back through, and there's going to be a spot where the stuff comes up. So you just got to cover it as good as you can. And now we have probably a dozen bags of the paver sand, not play sand, in here. And we have looked around and we think most of the soil is covered. But the only way to find out if it's truly covered is until you fill it up. Here comes the water. Now, this is going to look like chocolate soup. It's going to look horrible. It's going to freak 99% of the people out. But you got to weather the storm. You got to fight through that. So it's about to be really, 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 really ugly, really, 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 really messy. There's going to be problems. It's going to be a disaster. I'm mentally preparing myself, you know, verbally with this. But once we get through that stage, it's going to be fine. On a grand scale, this is going to be great. For now, I'm going to plop the water in this corner here. And we just know we're going to get a bunch of floating sediments up. There was already some in the corner there. But we're going to fill this sucker up. And then we're going to kind of watch. And who knows, it might feel nice and gradually. It might have a bunch of pops. And then the most efficient way to plant it would be to do it with hardly any water at all, just for better dexterity. But ain't nobody got time for that. So we're going to let this thing fill up here, and we're going to go grab a bunch of crunk stems of val, and we're going to plant, they say, the bejesus out of this.